Hello and welcome back to the channel. Sorry for the long wait, it's my fault. I'll explain it at the end. Anyway, like, subscribe and enjoy the video. Today we're talking about the storyline of the war. It begins at the U4 gas station. This is your first mission after your training, and this is the beginning of this beautiful game, Ready or Not, and the storyline which will be discussed in this video. But first, what happened and why are we here? On the 3rd of February at 2300, the police station received two separate phone calls from the same location about a robbery. One is from the manager of the gas station, and the other one from a woman named Charla Layton. Mrs. Layton sounds panicked as her daughter was still in the store whilst the robbery was still going on. Hence, one of the objectives is to find her daughter, Crystal Layton. The call from the manager is just as frantic, and listening to the call fully reveals that the manager got presumably shot and therefore is unresponsive, meaning we have to check the situation out. Furthermore, there are a few suspects that are important. One of them is Zion Pretlow, a notorious drug dealer and known on his block for dealing those substances. He's mostly active on his block 213 Parkway Gardens and North Park, where the two people of interest also presumably live, as this perpetration was planned by them together. And it should be clear that we should be aware of the suspects, as they could be drugged, therefore acting more aggressive and ruthless. So our objectives are to bring order to chaos, rescue all civilians, find Crystal Layton, and the manager. We arrive shortly after the calls, and the first thing we see is a man shot by the perpetrators, presumably because he tried to act in self-defense. Going in, we will encounter one of the suspects, so it's advised to throw a bang on the left or right side of the room, depending on where the suspect is. To be on the safer side, we'll move through the right side of the building, to clear out the middle of the building, where all the staff is located, and therefore the manager can be found. Arriving at the manager's desk and heading to the counter reveals a horrible crime scene done by the suspects. I guess someone had to let their anger out. We can report the manager. After clearing the middle section out, we can head to the dining section where more suspects could be hiding. Neutralizing or arresting them is the way to go. The same room, a veteran can be found who acted in self-defense, who as we can see was shot. Interestingly, he had a sign which was in protest of the new bill the governor wanted to pass, but that is relevant for the Left Behind storyline, which you can watch here. Lastly, try to rescue all civilians and find Crystal, who can be found in a broom closet in the kitchen. This takes place after the gas station and it revolves around meth, as a few of the people that were arrested in that robbery were on methamphetamine. We know that one of the suspects involved in the robbery at U4 was involved with some kind of drug dealing, and we also know that it was in the area of 213 Parkway Gardens. But we are still missing a few clues. If only someone... Wait. Oh damn, I guess we got lucky. A person who was associated with the lab that produces the meth just ratted them out and told us how the house looks, so we got a lead. He also claims to have been tortured there, but sadly he could not give us further details. Our task is to go in at night and conduct a successful raid on the meth lab. It's important to note that the house is split into two parts. One of them is the storefront, and the other one, which is covered, is the actual lab where most of the production takes place. Our objectives include to bring order to chaos, rescue all civilians, arrest at least two suspects, and find the meth labs and the meth storage. By the way, don't forget to bring your nods. We arrive at 0330. We first need to go up to the storefront and clear it. It is advised to wand the door, as suspects can be anywhere. Going through the first floor doesn't reveal much, but there are a lot of people down here, presumably struggling with addiction. But don't be fooled, these people could have a gun on them, so always keep your distance, as they like to carry knives as well. This atmosphere is depressing, and the amount of addicts is crazy, but hey, at least it keeps the housing prices around low, so why complain? Going to the second floor of the storefront is dangerous, so it's advised to throw a bang up the stairs. On the second floor we find the meth storage, as well as a money storage, and in both cases, the dealers are bawling. Furthermore, there's a kids room, in which we can find a child who is sleeping. In previous patches, the child looked like it was drugged. There were also condoms lying around, implying some people did some disgusting acts to her, which just shows how depraved some people are. After you clean out the storefront, move over to the lab, via this bridge which doesn't look HOA approved. Anyway, this is where the party is. The first thing you see is one of the labs. Just report it and go into the attic. This is where the informant was presumably tortured. There's also the chance that other people were tortured here as well. Moving back down from the attic, go through the rest of the house, but be aware of the tight corners. After you come down to the first floor of the lab, you will presumably encounter a few other suspects. The lab and a guy whose voice sounds very funky, to say the least. He probably is the cook and enjoys his own product a little too much. Report the meth lab and move on. Going outside, there are two sheds. You can enter through both, but going through you will find a tunnel, and in the tunnel you will also encounter resistance, so be aware. These tunnels are very much creepy, and the writings on the insides of the sheds make it look even creepier. It really seems like they went completely crazy from the amount of narcotics they took and the sleeplessness they have been enduring. But lastly, bag all the gun and let's head out. Well, the meth house revealed a bunch of stuff, and as it turns out, the Los Locos have been supplying them with some product, or at least they were connected to the people at the meth house, as we found evidence in the form of a text exchange all in Spanish, and a little sample of meth with the Los Locos name on it. But a lead is still missing. Wait a second. We just got another call from a person who I guess ratted the Los Locos out for immunity, as he reported that they were running a coyote den, which was smuggling a bunch of things, including people and narcotics. Our objectives are to bring order to chaos and secure all civilians. Rancho de los Sueños. Ironic. We arrive in this dusty, arid place at a ranch which is the Coyote Den, where we encounter a few suspects and mostly civilians who are immigrants from across the border. After clearing the courtyard out, we can go into the house, where confiscated passports can be found at the altar. You enter the cavern system through a door which is placed in the middle of the house, and descends quickly into a long mineshaft-esque construction. The tunnel system doesn't look like it was built recently, and it is also very much confusing, as there are a ton of storage rooms, which just makes this whole mineshaft like a labyrinth. And the fact that the people here want you dead makes navigating this endless hollow a nightmare. After being done with this task of clearing, you will probably encounter a large grotto. Don't be too fast, as suspects could be hiding there. After clearing this out, you can go over to the barge that is in this grotto, which is packed with a bunch of cargo, of the illegal kind. Just seeing this is impressive, as it depicts the mass of which the cartels operate at. I wonder where this will lead us. Finally, you can bag all of this up, and you can head out. Sorry for the very long wait for this video. I was busy with a lot of things, and just a lot of stuff happened in the last year, but I gotta say, it was also my fault because I was very lazy, and it took me way too long to make this video, So I just want to apologize. I will try to do my monthly schedule again, and I hope I can keep that schedule up if I'm not as lazy as I used to be. Anyway, have a great day, like, subscribe, and see you on the next one.